This example is just to help us understand what first derivative is, just using a practical, this is an hypothetical example. So if x is the number of hours I spend working and f of x equals 4x squared plus x is my pay function, first let's find the first derivative f prime of x. So how can I find this? I can just use the power rule. So I'm just going to write use power rule. So I can just use the power rule. So f prime of x is just going to be, so I'm just going to look at the first term of f of x. And for the first term, the power of x there is 2. So what I'm going to do is that 4 times, I'm just going to bring down 2. And then I'm going to subtract 1 from that power. So I have x to the power of 1, right? And then the derivative of x, the second term there, which is x, right, is just going to be, derivative is just going to be 1. And if you simplify this, it's just going to be 8x plus 1. Okay, so that was quick. Now let's find f prime of 2. So that means I'm just plugging 2 into what I got, right? I already have my f prime of x, which is 8x plus 1. So just going to have f prime of 2 is just going to be 8, 2 plus 1. And this is just 17. Okay, the number 2 says find and interpret. So we need to interpret, what does this mean? What does this mean? So this actually means that if I spend 2 hours walking, right? The 2 hours is coming from the 2 here. The 2 hours is coming from these 2. If I spend 2 hours walking, right? It means that my pay for working for 1 more hour is going to be $17. That's what this f prime of 2 equals 17 means. It means if I spend 2 hours working, that condition must be there. My pay for working for 1 more hour is going to be $17. So let me just copy. So this interpretation, that's what it means. And you can also interpret it in another way, which I'm going to explain in a bit. Let me copy this interpretation. So another way you can interpret this is that if you spend 2 hours working, it means that your pay is going to increase. So let me just copy this. Your pay is going to increase by $17 for an additional hour you spend working. So now the increase there is, how do I know that it's going to increase? Because I got 17, right? And 17 is greater than 0, right? So it means that it's going to increase. That's how I got the increase there. This increase here, it means that the pay is going to increase by $17 for an additional hour I spend working. So that's just basically, the interpretation of all this. That's just it. So yeah, I hope this helps you understand derivatives. Thank you.